Hello everyone. Thanks for joining. Sorry for the late start. Thank you. Did we all have a good weekend? Spend a good weekend?
Yes, wonderful.
Wonderful. Okay.
What did you do for your dad?
Took him to Yamcha.
Without
Landmark in Sunny Plaza. Yeah.
good place.
Yeah.
We've been there many times.
Oh, okay. You got the grasshopper hat.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. Oh,
We bought a couple of them.
okay.
I am a little boy every
Oh,
Saturday
yeah.
morning.
That's good.
We've changed it from Sunday to Saturday.
Yeah. Oh.
So his dad can come back.
Oh.
Now his dad works Saturday anyway. So.
Yeah. So.
It is better. In fact, Saturday seems to have more people.
Yeah.
And there's an American Pakistani coach there. She's really full on.
Oh, cool. The coach must be doing well.
Yeah, well, she's got the American zing to it.
Oh, so yeah. Happy Father's Day to Sifu and Danny. Everyone, happy Father's Day yesterday. In Taiwan, I think it's August the 8th.
Yeah.
Because Ba, like 8th. Yeah, Baba is like Papa. Yeah, Papa. Yeah.
So it started
Okay.
Nepalese Father's Day was Thursday or Friday.
Oh, before last week or?
Nah, yeah, well, just
coming.
Yeah, just gone. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Please.
It's gone.
Oh,
it's gone.
Okay.
Might or might not be related.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Please send through any questions if you have, and we'll have a good discussion today. So today I want to share with you 2 Chinese characters that is very, very meaningful. I'll write them on the board, and then we can dissect them, and you can see where it's coming from. Who's there? Oh wait, knock. Who's there? Okay. Can anyone see the 2 characters? This is 1, and this is 2.
I've seen them hundreds of times. You've told me hundreds of times.
Oh, okay.
And I've forgotten. As always.
No, it's okay. Yeah. This one is very important because it's got.
We're seeing. You can watch if anyone.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, if anyone's posting anything.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sir Jack. Anyway, this is pronounced her, and this is pronounced Tong. So I think her and Tong. Yeah. Her Tong.
Yeah.
But the meaning is the most significant meaning is the heavenly seal, one of our third treasure. The third treasure, our hand gesture when we do the vows, the rituals, because
that together, those 2 together makes a heavenly seal?
The noun, the together is the noun of heavenly seal. So doesn't mean this means heavenly, this means seal. No, it doesn't work like that in Chinese. But I'll get to the composition of it so we can see why it is called He Tong, or why is it called a heavenly seal, and all the meanings, and wrap it all together. So first things first is we can break it up into different radicals. So anyone recognize this one? The 2 strokes? Yeah, okay. This one means human.
I was going to say that.
Yes. This one is human. It's Ren, but it's human. Why is it human? Because one is our spiritual component and one is our
physical.
That's the one. That's the one. So one's the spiritual component, and the other is the physical component. Any idea why the stroke on this side is
higher,
stronger?
pointing up to the sky.
Yeah, or why we have this stroke first?
The spiritual is always there.
Yeah, that's it. The spirit is before the physical side is created.
Always changes. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. So that's the first part. Anyone recognize what's this one line? This one?
Me.
E. E. That's it. That's it. So we have got one. This is E. And what about this one again?
I thought that was Earth.
Does it remind you of some orifice?
Speaking or mouth?
Mouth? Okay, we'll go with mouth. This one is Ko. Ko. K-O-U, I think. Ko. Yes, so that's E.
Eco.
Yeah.
Eco. Eco.
Manico.
And Ren. Ren is it?
Ren.
I know the other one.
Oh, yeah.
Stimpy.
Skimpy.
Yeah.
What does Skimpy mean again?
Stimpy.
Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy.
Is this like a Stimpy? Is it an Aussie slang?
No.
American.
Oh, okay. American slang. Okay.
Just
Cartoon.
Cartoon.
Stimpy, you idiot.
Stimpy. It's not Pinky and the Brain. I only know Pinky and the Brain. It's Pinky and the Brain. Any similarities you can see in these two?
The E and the Co.
Yeah, eco. Yeah, eco.
Eco. Surrounded by
Yeah. Okay.
some barrier or form.
Yeah. That's good. So yeah, we can.
I'm guessing. Yeah.
That's good. Well, in many, I can sort of relate it culturally. In many situations where you can see E and Co, it sort of have the concept of unity. In Chinese, like the concept of everyone having one common tongue. That's the sort of concept. We speak the same language, or we have the same.
Used to speak the same language.
Yeah. So that's to show the unity side of it. Not saying that we only have one authoritative interpretation. No, it's the other side of one tongue. Like we speak the same tongue. That's the concept of unity.
Should be able to understand each other.
Yeah. That's it. Like we speak the same tone, or we speak the same language, or we speak the same. We speak the same like heart. We speak the same love. We speak the same compassion. We speak the same kindness. So that's what really this concept should originally represent, is that unity aspect. So when humans are all at unity, this actually means combined. This means together. This means together.
At one
together. Yeah, so if you write it as one character, this character is called combined or together. Yeah, together. So if you look at Chinese, the wording of working together, cooperation. So this on its own means people doing, using the rake. So
raking, like gardening.
Gardening, right. People doing the raking means work. When humans are working together, cooperation.
Oh.
So that's the as we may know, like Chinese characters are very like a pictograms, or they are like a Pictionary. So yeah,
one can mean
so you have a component that has its symbolizing an action, and then you whack on certain other components, and then you form or over the centuries merge into a noun or a particular describing a particular situation. So this one on the left is like human, same thing. It's just slanted to fit the writing. And so think of this side like a rake. So if people are using the rake, obviously they are working. So then working together means cooperation. So that's what the combine and cooperation means. So this combinedness, how is it related to us when we look at that from the third treasure point of view, from the perspective of the third treasure? What does combine do? What does the combine section, how does it relate to us?
Combining a spirit together when you hold in your hand.
Yeah,
Get the energy to flow around.
Yeah, well,
I think,
and in the spiritual sense, Daniel-san, you're right. Our spirit was from the same source, isn't it?
Yeah.
We are originally the same cup of tea or same water composition. You cannot differentiate you from him or me from them. This original cup of tea, you cannot break it down into different
that water
allocation.
Is this?
Yes. So that's
different taste.
Yeah. So when we hold the heavenly seal, one of the reminder it's about this unity, this common origin.
I forget the order of the heavenly seals. I thought the hand was the third one.
There's a hand. We will normally use it as the third treasure. We will normally refer it as the third treasure. But
saying is the first.
Saying is the second. The first is the heavenly portal. That's the most important one. Yeah, the saying, the powerful mantra is the heavenly mantra is the powerful mantra. That's the second one. And we say the holy seal, the heavenly seal. That is the third treasure. So if we look at this unity, and this means more like in one household, or if you look at it under one roof or under one structure. So if we are all the people with unity under one temple or under one structure, what do we get?
Together.
Yeah, what do we get? What do you think we can get?
Harmony.
Oh, that's
passion.
Yes. Harmony. So this word particularly, this also means together. So in Chinese,
listening to each other.
Yeah, in Chinese, if you look at it from like in English we say like a double negative, or the opposite of a double negative, a double affirmative, or however you can call it. So like if you have two double of the same thing, it just emphasizes that importance sort of thing. So so this is also means together. So in the Confucianism way, or the Confucius described the world of great harmony, he used this word great, like a person that has one, the person that found one, the great, and then this is together, so great harmony. A world of great harmony is the world we are getting towards. So obviously people look at the news and they say that's impossible, but we have to realize things do happen very, very quickly. Sometimes it's not up to our understanding of how we see this happening and this happening, and some of us we can't line it all up as beautifully as nature could. So, and like say, we can't see like a dripping water that drips through a rock and creates a hole. We can't see that. We can only see a hole being created, but it takes thousands of years. But it's real. The reality is that. So Sometimes we don't see a world of great harmony by looking at our news or looking at our current world or the state of the current affairs. But the Buddhas, they never lie. They have the blueprints already. They have passed the Tao as the utility. You can use that as the method or the apparatus of using Tao to bring back everyone's one, so that we all speak and think the same unity, and then naturally we're back to one big family. So that is the
different plane of existence.
it will be on the same plane. It will be on the same timeline and things. So
not in this world.
Yes, in this world. Yeah.
Because I believe that's already happening elsewhere when we all move on.
Like we say, this world, if we were to change this world into like a utopia or paradise, it's possible. But even better is Mila Buddha's great vow to bring the happiness here.
To everyone.
Yeah. So make this place how it should be, like as if it's in a paradise or in heaven. So as in our original way of being. So Sipu, please.
What's the first one mean?
This one.
Yes.
This means combined.
Combined.
And this means together.
Combined.
Together. So together. Yeah. So like.
Is that how you would say it in Chinese? Combined harmony.
In Chinese, we can understand it as being one entity or one closeness. Yeah, closeness. Is that the right word? Or tongue twister today. Being
closeness,
being together or in one unity. That's her tongue. And also in modern usages in Chinese, more people would hear the word her tongue, but the first thing they think of is contract, because a contract is a mutual unity or mutual agreement. So the contract is where people consensually agree on some terms, and abide by that term to create a good outcome, or mostly is good outcome with a contract. So that's why, modern world, 90% of the people hear that, they will first think of is the contract. But then if you think deeper, a contract is exactly the fulfillment of harmony or unity, or the connectedness, connecting two entities. Yeah, so I think in understanding the Chinese character in its original purpose, or the reason that it is written that way, it brings up a lot of stories or insights about how we can also connect all the dots and understand nature a lot easier and a lot more meaningfully. So that's why one of the importance of her tongue is to remind us of our mutual agreements with Heavenly Mother. Yeah, because
nature.
Yeah, we have obligations as well because we are part of nature. Do you think? Do you know your obligations to nature? Is that a sentence that I structured correctly?
It depends how you want to finish the sentence.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
if we want to look after the planet where we live, we should be
so
cleaning stuff up or whatever.
Yeah.
If you don't, if you treat it badly, well, it's going to fall apart.
Yeah. So we understand we are part of nature, so we don't own anything per se. We don't own any material resources, or and our obligation is like simply.
You think we do?
Yeah. We have the perception that that's my cup of thing, my house, my cup. But the reality, I think, is similar to how you go to sundown, and in sundown, you probably leave nothing behind, and even footprints are not heavily encouraged. So that's the sort of I guess, bottom line is that you not owning any piece of this world materially, but all your actions have a consequence when you're here anyway. So I think that's the key understanding of our obligations. Our obligations to nature is that we've got to be careful what we think, because when we think, we create the energy, or we create the cause. The thought, there will be the effect. So that's why if more and more people can think for having the world of great harmony, that's the seed, that's the cause. So that's why we still, diligently, thank you so much for joining the classes, participating in the temple time, because the reality
It's
of...
not good thanking us.
No, it's great. It's commending, because easily put, if we did not say for example on a Saturday or Sunday we don't spend time at the class, then most likely we may be doing other activities. Not saying it's bad entirely, but saying we may do some activities that have more karmic consequences, isn't it? So in coming to class, or even like now, like if the viewers are viewing, at least then that may be a more interesting or beneficial dialogue than switching on other shows on Netflix, I guess. So that's the purpose of the temple, or I guess...
It's better being here than looking at this while riding.
Yeah, so that's the reason we still need to try to help more people, bring more people to enjoy themselves in the class, and that's why we still need a temple to keep sharing this time and space. That's all there is. So, and our, I guess, every participant's contribution is to roll the happiness forward, or roll the good learning forward.
Yo-yo.
Yo-yo? Yeah.
She wanted to come. I went to a party the other day, a friend's birthday party. And her husband said, you should take Yo-yo to your temple.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
I think you'd use it all into any religion. She might come and have a look.
Yeah, that's good.
She might actually speak a little bit of Mandarin.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, language is not an issue, so even if none of...
I go there, you translate your...
Well, I guess at the end, it's back to, I think, what we sort of shared before. It's up to what people see us do, not hear us say. So, I mean, it's our actions that speaks for ourselves. So it does not need words. Sometimes you look at someone's, I guess, attitude or demeanor or course of action, then in the outcome, sometimes you can get a picture of what they're trying to convey. So the Halatong, I guess if you look at it from that literal meaning, that's one aspect. And then we look at it from like a contractual approach. We have the agreement with Heavenly Mother as well. When we were receiving the Tao, we were kneeling in front of Buddha and the Heavenly Mother to sincerely
and the master's open.
When we are there to the most purest moments of our time, that we actually are the most like the child facing the parents. There's nothing to hide. That's pure, most direct and like intimate. Maybe is there a better word like intimate? Better than the word intimate? Okay. Yeah, the closeness again, the same word, like that bond between us and this spiritual mother. So the spiritual origin. So I think even
spirits.
Just ourselves. Not worry about other spirits. It's ourselves first. Because if we can't even look after ourselves, then it's like rescuing someone that's drowning when we're also getting drowned in the ocean. So that's not much help. So when we were that's the meaning of the contractual or mutual agreement, that Heavenly Mother is longing for us to return home. Now we have found a method of reaching home, so she is now willing to do all the help, give us all the help we need to navigate through the course of life. So, and at the end of the day, the most grateful thing that we can say is the aspect of health and safety. Health and safety. I think like whether it is like good health or like good good energy or like good safety, I think that's the most grateful thing we have at the moment. As
good safety is just pure luck, I tell you.
Luck, yeah. Well, yeah. I think
not an Australian Post. It's not.
Australian Post.
Well, in a way, they're pretty full safety.
Rules,
regulations.
Yeah, well, that's where it comes into understanding like karma or pre-happened. Is that the word? In the past, pre-happened, pre-occurrence.
The pre-thing.
Pre-thing, yes.
Yeah.
So our
deja vu or something.
like our past karmic the burden, or past karmic debt. So there's many ways we can look at this, but most of the time we say we are quite fortunate already to have received the Tao, that even our past karmic burdens or the creditors are not going to chase us that hard, so that we don't even have a chance to repay our karmic debt. So by the time we have successfully received it out, it would most likely mean our karmic creditors are willing to give us a chance to do well, to cultivate well, to use our merit to repay them back, rather than them dragging us down so they can give us a grudge or hold us accountable. But I think the good learning here is a debt must be repaid, no matter how long it has lapsed. A debt is still a debt, so we still need to use genuine merit. Genuine merit is the only thing that can offset or repay the debt, and the genuine merit is from your most sincere, intuitive thoughts and actions. So, like of benevolence and kindness. So, if you do some good work in the concept of you'll get a good return, then that is already not a unconditional, selfless act. It is already an afterthought. So we try to practice the unconditional, basic instinct of selfless, goodwill. So I think that's why, in the temple, like even on the Sundays, you are amazing, both of you, sirs, and you have done so much selflessly, unconditionally, and I think that's the most,
This Sunday is gardening day too.
Yes, Sunday, but I think most of the work is already, I think according to Jack, the hard yards already been done. Now it's all the
maintenance now.
Before, I think because of the lack of touch up or the lack of servicing, it was in a state of despair or disrepair. So because of your, gentlemen and sirs, your contribution in the past 5 or 6 months, I think
I'm sure it was nothing.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not.
I think we shift a couple of weeds.
Oh no, it's more than that. Yeah. So So I definitely.
But now that you keep on top of it.
Yeah. So I think that's why the most beautiful thing is our teamwork, or the most we say the most product, or the most obvious product, or the fruitful memories, the sweetest memories was was the the sweetest success from the sweetest memories was from the time where we just have one common goal.
So what else does her tong mean?
Her tong, okay. So her tong also mean like our baby like heart. Her tong, like if you hold the heavenly seal when your hands are together in front, it's just like holding an infant, like you give them a lullaby. The reminder that we are also a baby. We are just a
the inner child, the inner goodness.
Yeah, we are a 60,000-year-old baby. Yeah.
Nothing else? In words?
In words?
Yeah.
Okay.
Combined harmony, anything else?
Her, it's also like a symphony. Yeah. Sometimes, if you look at like an orchestra, if they play all the things at the same time, it's actually gibberish. But they play it in a concerted way or a synchronized way. So that's what her also have that component. Not just like jamming it in all in together like mashed potatoes, but it's like a orderly layout or an orderly fashion that you put them in the same basket, but they don't like rub off each other's
They
shines.
work together.
Yeah, that's it. So that's why this particular character, in Hong Kong, a lot of shops actually use that as part of their names, like a brand.
Thing?
Yeah, this character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or sometimes either one.
Yeah.
In Taiwan, if you look at the shops, remember one time we went to like an electrical store, and I was trying to look for the pots for mom, and that was the brand, Da Tong. Da Tong was the rice cooker steamer.
Da Tong.
Yeah, Ta Tong. I think, commercial time, Ta Tong. That was the spelling. Yeah, and then, some logo that looks like something like that. I don't know how,
Those pots are what? Using for people to come together, I suppose.
Oh, very good. I guess so.
Cooking a big feast or something.
Bringing the people together. That's what the meals are so significant. So obviously,
eating together,
if
sharing.
That's it. Yeah, if it's a plant-based meal, that's the most beautiful thing. If it's not a plant-based meal, then yes, you bring the people together at the expense of separating other families. But yeah, I guess that's the branding message. I guess the corporate identity. I guess is that togetherness or the harmony of not necessarily needing to be family, but I guess bringing people together, good friends and things. So I guess even in the modern world, like I guess people eat out with their friends more than their own paternal or maternal relatives. So I think it's just that togetherness, the sense of the connectedness. So maybe on Thursday as well, I'll try to hook up everyone. We'll do dinner as well, and before class, and that is what brands trying to use the same word. And in Hong Kong,
what time do you think dinner? I'm going to the shop.
Is it?
4:30.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's okay. We still have plenty of time to work it out. Yeah, that's okay. In Hong Kong, a famous developer, the name is called, in English, is Hopewell.
I've seen that.
Yes, the Hopewell Center is the first circular building in Hong Kong. And then it's got 63, or no, more than that. I think 66 or 68 stories. And the top is a revolving restaurant. Yeah, it was the tallest building for
Still there?
It's still there, of course. Yes.
Have a look next time.
If we do get a chance to stop by, we go to the revolving restaurant. Yeah. So
aunties are there now.
Oh, aunties?
No, my aunties.
My auntie. So the brand, lots of conceptually important in the Chinese language. The connectedness, togetherness, and all stems from a simple understanding of society, how we interact with each other. So I think obviously in the modern world, a lot of these values or qualities have already been neglected. I wouldn't say forgotten, but just been neglected or becomes less prominent. So that is our role or our duty, to share with more people and then bring this good side of things into other people's lives again, so that our world of great harmony is definitely going to happen. So so even if it is many years down the track, but as you may know of the butterfly effect, every small thing counts. And the little boy that throws starfish back into the ocean, so other old people were saying that you can't save all the hundreds and thousands of them, but the boy doesn't care, just keep chucking the starfish back and say, whoa, made a change to that one, whoa, made a change to that one, made a change to that one. So I think, all we can do is make a change to this guy, make a change to that guy, make a change to that guy, and we already have a very good time or a very good outcome for us already. So that's what makes paradise already. So doesn't necessarily need to wait until, say, we move on from this world. Paradise should be our qualification now. Just like if you like you can get more experience, but your qualification per se should already be there. Just like the doctors don't become a doctor after 30 years. They become qualified to do what doctors should do on day one when they hit the ground running. So that's why our masters always say, like, we are called cultivators because we should be living the way that Buddhas should live and carry out our daily duties as if the Buddhas would do the daily duties as well. Otherwise, don't expect that you are still filled with all the grudges and the pollutions of the world, and then hoping that one day when you move to the next world, then boom, you are a most holy and most completely beautiful soul. I think yes,
we are not that shallow.
we're not that chubby. Sorry,
we are not that shallow. We do not have these expectations.
That's a very good big thumbs up. Yeah, but a lot of people, I think, may.
Softly.
Sorry.
Don't want to rush into these things, okay?
Yes. Roger. Yeah, so that's why we will try our best. Even the most challenging part is exactly that. A temple sometimes is where lots of when lots of issues happen. Yeah, so and that's the point. That's the training ground. Like you go to I guess using a training ground is more better word for it, like a simulator. Yeah, like if you fly an aircraft, you don't get in charge of 300 people's lives straight away. You need to use the simulator as much as you can till you do get that qualification. So a temple is exactly that. And that's why a lot of times you see lots of like nitty-gritty things or like lots of agonizing thing or like all these things you think they should not happen in temple, but that's exactly why it happens in temple. All the bitterness or the feuds and all the in all the relationship challenges all happens in the temple. So that's our simulator, and that's why we are fortunate to have that simulator.
Inside and fix.
Yeah, we get our experience firsthand, and we then become masters of flying.
So we have bitter feuds here, do we?
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Even
I don't know this because I don't speak Chinese.
Oh well, actually, every now and then you see people come and go. I think the partial reason of it may have been some, not necessarily inside the temple structure,
sure.
But maybe when they get to know each other, but then they become friends, and maybe something happened in other lives. So that's some of the things as well. But even running have to be frank, I can't say everything is okay, even running the events or organizing things. I'm sure even for gardening day, you guys may have come across people not making up their minds to do the proper things or not really.
Really counting this.
That's good. That's good.
We're pretty non-judgmental.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, and just like in Hong Kong, like now they don't need a rebel leader. They don't need one because everyone has the same vision, the same goal of equality, of freedom, of this selfless kindness.
So what are they fighting about in Hong Kong? I've only just seen all the buffalo. I just asked my brother.
Yeah, is he okay?
He's okay. He just stays away.
Oh, good. That's good. Yeah, because
at the moment they're disrupting airlines. It must be around airports. So I'm hoping my aunties don't get trampled or whatever they do.
Oh, no, they won't get affected. Like in
where was that square when the tanks ran over people? That was Japan.
No, that was Tiananmen
Square.
Tiananmen,
Beijing, 1989. Yeah. So I think the
Chinese usually don't muck around when they start bringing in force.
Well, that's the sort of the sad side of it is important that the people have that common vision, but unfortunate that the system doesn't allow them. So what do? If they keep pushing to the tipping point, the system has absolute brute to crush. That's what happened. Yeah, and that's exactly why Hong Kong.
Same as IRA.
Yeah, so in Ireland they are more lucky or more fortunate because in Ireland even they are facing violence, but their system still allows them to balance out the ruffles and the quarrels. But they have a solid foundation. I guess since the Magna Carta, the foundations of human rights has become the paramount point above all conflicts. But unfortunately, in some Asian countries, the absolute human rights, all these knowledge, it just stems from human rights. How you want to be treated is how I wanted to be treated. So, but all these has been crushed by brute force over many thousands of
The fight is over convicted people being extradited to China. If you get convicted of something, they can take you to China.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying. It's harder than.
Yeah. So I think
Hong Kong wants to be their own little place, don't they?
They don't need independence, or they're not calling for independence. They're merely trying to retain an autonomy of judicial fairness or the political immunity from other influences from the north. So
no one expects them to win. I mean, you talk to any of the news reporters anywhere around the world, they don't expect the Hong Kongese to win this.
Yeah, so I think at the end,
years of fighting.
Yeah, so those you're right. So no one is a winner out of this debacle, or maybe there will be a winner, and I'm glad it is a winner in the eyes of Singapore. Singapore is the real winner this time round. All the monies are taken from Hong Kong back to Singapore, and it's a good thing for Singapore. So I'm glad that Singapore's doing well. So it's just that
how come the money's going from Hong Kong to Singapore? Does Singapore own Hong Kong?
I'm gonna say all those stock market money, all the investors, they are not going to put money at a place that is.
That's all up in the air.
That is very volatile. So they want to save Singapore with a system that they know is robust and secure. So in Singapore, some people do protest about the lack of freedom of expression, but in other aspects of the Singapore government, the corruption is very low, almost non-existent, and the treatments of policies are very like transparent as well.
There are places in Singapore they don't like Western people.
I don't know too much about local Singapore
When we
aspects.
went there, they just said these people won't budge for you. Like other places, you barter up and down. Like these people, you had that feeling.
Oh, well, I think from what I know, like Singapore, they have done quite a lot to look after different diverse communities. So they put every like housing estate into like percentages of different languages. Like they must have 25 or 35% Chinese, 25% like Tamil Indian, and 25% like Hindus, and others make up the whole picture. I think.
Jesus.
Yeah, maybe it is a.
They control.
Like they're not like.
That'd be sucky, wouldn't it?
Well, I don't know whether
So we'd have 25% Black Africans, 25% Maoris, 25% Avos,
so
25% Aussies.
yeah, so I think
25% Chinese and 25. That makes 300%.
3,000. But I think the concept is respecting each other and creating a single channel of compassion. That's all. Like they are
keeping
very
everything flowing.
they are very diverse communities with a variety of customs, but they share the same space. And I think I was reading, or I was watching as well the how they do the public housing in Singapore, and they build a lot of communal area like at the ground floor, like they call it void deck, like how all the apartments always have an empty like public playground and like community activity in the ground floor.
Chill out.
So and like Malaysians will have their wedding there. Maybe some Indian community will have their funerals there, but they use that space to the most harmonious way. So I think that's another like good outcome out of a numbers game. They try to start off with a numbers way, but at the end it ended up pretty alright, because at the end it's not about numbers anymore. It's just about that common good. The common good is what drives people to do the good thing. So
it's cool if they're on board.
So I think in this modern like multicultural society, like thank you, Stephen. Thank you.
Don't you be thanking me.
Thank you. Cheers. The multiculturalness is certainly the way of the future, because that we want to understand different strengths from different communities. And there must be lots of wisdom from different communities that can bring a country together, or bring a common good out of each.
People living everywhere nowadays.
And
worldwide.
Transport is relatively enhanced. Then that's the purpose of us getting across, to experience more and more, to bring that togetherness back together. And so when we are bowing, when we do the bows, we're reminding of our connectedness with above. And when we finish the bow and move on to the tasks in temple, we also keep that essence of togetherness here. And then when we drive home back to work and back to the kids, and we still have keeping on that commitment of mutual commitment. And I think that's why the three treasures are very, very beneficial, very, very meaningful, and also very, very important for our benefit and everyone's benefit. So I just thought this is a very interesting thing to discuss. And then any questions? Is there any? Let me check it. Hello. Yes, that's right. Nicolette said yes. Aboriginal people, the First Nations. Most respectful way. Yes, that's right. Okay. Yep, we've got viewers. Yeah, that's expressing very good concerns. Yes. So thank you. That's right. The first peoples of this nation. Yes. So we respect.
What's the Dutch?
No. Aborigines are the first people of this continent. So that is a fact. So yeah, we'll respect the reality of that. So thank you for Nicolette pointing that out.
I thought they found out that other people had come first.
No, we know that.
Or all the planets will join.
Planets? Oh no, you mean the continent?
Oh, continent. Yeah.
In Australia as our continent, the original settlers.
Oh,
yeah, we know Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders are the original inhabitants of this continent. So
Dutch might come here before England.
That's already 40,000 or 50,000 years past the original starting time. So we say, in Australia, if there's the political willpower, there may be a thing they can learn, or one or two things they can learn from Singapore, so to speak. And then we can probably benefit even more people and have a more harmonious outcome.
They pretty much do it naturally here anyway, don't they?
Yeah. So I think, like, in all due respect, like, we have this system that's really working well. Like, people can choose where they live. Whereas in China, you are limited by your residential locality. So they have your birth certificate say you're born in WA, then you're forever stuck in WA.
Oh, you're not allowed to move.
You have to apply, and they have this quotation or like a quota or some sort of management. But anyway, if you are stuck in WA, that means all your kids can only get educated in WA. So unless you marry someone from New South Wales, then but that's not a more. There must be more humane ways or more efficient ways. So
could be worse.
Yeah.
Could have all the A's living in that block and the B's in this block.
Yeah.
And
So
all the G's in this block.
Yeah. So at a certain in the Middle Ages in China, because of the lack of government system, or there are no civil services. Actually, that's exactly what happened in the Middle Ages in China. Like, you have the family living in their own village. So it will be the family of the village of the Boons, or village of the Guards, village of the Jews. So
the Chen village.
Chen village, where Chen, yes.
The home of Tai Chi.
That's it, yep. So, obviously they are still inhabitants from others, and that comes and marries each other, but just saying the majority of the land ownership is a family basic. Even in Hong Kong, in the new territories, new territories still have many of these land holdings. They are the original inhabitants that have them for hundreds of years.
Imagine if China really took over Hong Kong, because Chinese don't own land.
Yeah, so that's why in Hong Kong and China, unfortunately, they don't have much freehold land. As now, in percentage wise, Australia, we have a lot of freehold ownership land. So but anyway, I think back to the discussion before, the original inhabitants of this land, we also owe a lot to them, and this modern freehold ownership also is established on their land as well. So I think it gets a little bit complicated, but I think in all due respect, we just want to bring back the harmony side of things, and then work together, and that's
I'm all for that.
That's it. So if we keep,
I don't like living in the Badlands.
So that the different the different suburbs have their design issues. I think it comes back to urban design and the transportation design. So I think in some aspects, I think Taipei is pretty decent in its infrastructure. So maybe we can learn a few things as well.
Why Taipei? Infrastructure, you're talking trains and buses and things?
Trains, buses, parks,
yeah.
and also Yeah, the amenities side of things. Yeah. So and the system of like if you have ground-based living, underground transport, and so I think the diversity also happens in that level. Not saying the population is diverse in many cultures, but mainly just saying the infrastructure or the amenities is very diverse. So that's something cities are looking at as well in designing the urban spaces. So I think in like many
housing emission they put it in certain areas.
Yeah, like I think many times, many like significant places, we should preserve those and not overdevelop them. And just like Uluru, it should be left as the most sacred place rather than commercializing it and become very touristy.
Like the Amazon
Amazon should be left
being burnt and cut down.
The forest is the lungs of the earth, so we should keep it that way.
Half of it's gone already.
Yeah, so the commercialization aspect.
Great Barrier Reef is.
Yeah, so that's why that's the key. That's a key aspect of togetherness. If we have a concept of togetherness, then we should realize some things are some jobs we can participate in, but some aren't really jobs we should participate in. So, like say, we can make a living in saying we could make a living that we don't have to all work at abattoirs, or we can all make a living that we don't have to like burn half of the Amazon, or we can make a living that we don't necessarily have to raise all the cattle in Northern Territory. That in the end, when there's a drought, they all suffer as well. So I'm just saying, like,
well, if it rains, they all suffer.
Too much rain. Yeah, too much rain, they suffer. No rain, they suffer. So I think the irony of Earth, obviously, like this material world, everything is yin and yang. Everything is a duality. So, and we are trying to find the balance, and that's why, sometimes there's a lot, sometimes there's not enough. But if you look at the average, that's not the reality. Because if you look at the extreme, the average is always deceiving. And that's exactly some politicians, that's what they're using. They're targeting that averageness and say it's not too bad. But if you look at the extremities, that's really, really bad. Because in the past, we don't get very cold or very hot. We have a mild range. But now we have very, very cold or very, very hot. But if you average it out, it's still the same. And people say there's no global warming or there's no issues with the climate. Then if there's no issues in the climate, the only people that can prove it are the insurance people. Yes, I think if there are no climate issues, then the insurance premium shouldn't have to rise. They don't need to pay out as much from natural catastrophes.
The insurance people, they'll jack the prices up anyway.
Jack the prices. Yeah.
What happened to the ozone layer? I haven't heard much about the ozone hole.
Well, they say it's patching itself up because they stopped using CFC. But I think in saying that, they're also saying we have a faster heating up process because there are less chance for other gases to escape. And so there's no winner at the end, whether it's ozone has a hole or ozone does not have a hole.
Mars.
Yeah, I don't know too much about Mars. They were saying like there must have been inhabited life on Mars, intelligent life on Mars like before, but it's okay. It's too much to discuss. But yeah, just
spread one is, and like you said, it's all connected.
Yes, it's all connected. So I'll just see if there are any questions. Oh, sorry. No. Yeah. Let me.
Can I digress?
Yes.
I've been watching.
Yes.
Shaolin. Have you seen it?
Shaolin. There's a BBC thing. Oh, okay.
No, it's a movie.
Oh.
And it's set in about 1900.
Yeah.
It's extremely violent. There's two warlords there and a Shaolin temple.
Yeah, Shaolin. I remember it's Andy Lau. Andy Lau is to be in it. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. But anyway, the master there is quite profound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And quite often, listening to these things is how I learn things.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that there's 3 principles for him. Buddha for enlightenment,
Yep.
Dharma for teachings,
Yep.
Sangha for community.
Yes.
What's
Yes.
a Sangha?
Sangha means cultivation group, so like monks. Monks.
I
So
see.
that's Buddha. Buddha.
And sunrise is a sandwich.
Yeah. I was thinking that too.
Dharma.
It's a sandwich in Australia.
I don't know how to spell it, but they call it Sangha. Sangha.
Sangha.
Like
a
Sanskrit.
monk then,
Yeah.
Sangha.
Sangha. Yeah.
And the Dharma means?
Dharma
Teachings.
means like method. Dharma teachings, like a method towards enlightenment, method to reach enlightenment, or like if you look at it like a manual, an owner's manual.
Yeah.
So, that's right. So, that's a very good segue there, because Nicola also asked, how do we remove pain or overcome some conflicts and things like that? How do we remain the calm and tranquility?
Yeah.
And that's exactly the 3 things we can utilize, as well as if we remember the Tao, we have the 3 treasures. So the first treasure, second treasure, third treasure. Yes, so that's a very good segue. So Buddha, first treasure, heavenly portal, the spirit, true conscience. If we make that always alert, always sharp, always...
What's number 2 again?
Oh, this one, that's our mantra. That's the
yeah.
mantra, the heavenly mantra, like sutra. Sutra is a manual.
Yeah.
How to become Buddha is all written down in the sutra, in the Bible, in the Quran. All the heavenly saints.
This goes back years.
Yes, and even a lot of times it may not be in a particular literature. So if it was a community that uses oral stories to pass down this wisdom, there must have been some Dharma involved in as well. So we're just fortunate that we get a chance to use
Different words.
all
Meaning
these,
the same thing. So.
all these, like in Buddhism, there are no fixed Dharma, because we are all learning from different angles. So we say there's no shoe that completely fits everyone. So there should be, Buddha say 84,000 types of people, so he has 84,000 medicines for them. So that's why 84,000 is just a arbitrary number to say there's many ways. So, but we say, yes, even though you can finitely narrow down to 84,000, but it's just like the fingers. It all still comes back to one wrist. You don't need 2 wrists, or you do need 2 wrists, but they're on separate hands. But for one hand, you only need 1 wrist. But you can control all the fingers from that wrist. So the Tao, we say, is not a Dharma, because it's the original entity. The Dharma is more like the manifested versions of Tao. So
they're using this symbol.
yes.
Do they still use this symbol?
Oh, good question. Very good question. We remember the He how we hold it, right? Okay. So, why? Because remember in our past class, we talked about the 3 time period. Yeah. So we have got the cyan period. Yeah. We've got the red period. And now it's the white period. Yep. So
Women, male.
just to look at it this way, is because cyan is like it's like dawn, where the sun is just about to come up. Red is when the sun has come up a bit, but not at the peak. White is the brightest part of the day because it's at the highest peak. So cyan period is they use that because that is their seal. The He is like that.
Yeah.
Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That means to overcome 9 calamities, 9 major catastrophes in the Cyan period. So, what does that mean then? 18. 9 plus 9 plus 9 in the red period. So there's 18 major calamities in the world. So the Buddha used that, and we only knew about this now after the period was passed. So
after the what?
After the corresponding period has passed.
Yeah.
So in the Cyan period, no one would know what that means. No one would know that. No one would even hold it. They don't even need to know. They don't even realize. Not needing. They need it, but they don't realize. But in the red period, then they know about it because it's already passed. So the red period was the 18th. We know it now because the red period already passed. But not everyone, unless they received it out, not everyone knew of the Hertong of today's
when
period.
did the red period end?
Okay. 1905. Yes.
And the Hertong is multiplying then.
Yes, that's right. Now it's 9 times 9.
Yeah.
9 times 9, cross. And that's why now there are lots of calamities, lots of disasters. So, like Nicolette was asking, how do we bring back that peace to soothe the pain, to overcome these conflicts? So,
who's that?
One of the viewers. So, if we can remind ourselves of the true Buddha within, is our real self, we can then realize all these material things, all the people's quarrels, all the conflicts at work, these are still not part of us. These are not really us. If people say, I am a bad person, or they say I have a bad temperament, I should not get affected because they are talking merely about what this shell is doing wrong, not what the one inside is doing right. So our mind can be more calm, and also we can hold the seal, and then we can chant the mantra in us. That's how we can also straight away focus back on, hello kitty, always focus back on our pure self, the spirit, the portal. We can focus on that. So the most easiest way, a lot of the times we learn, is just think of like Maitreya Buddha, think of Mila Buddha. If the person is giving you a hard time, just don't focus on that person's issues. Focus on the Mila Buddha, the Maitreya Buddha's happiness and encompassing everything. Then we can definitely help other people as well. So last week, the lecturer shared with a story that there was one time a monk go to a particular village and asking for help. That monk went to a village and found a house, and that house was actually owned by one of the local elites. But that local elites came to open the door and say, oh, you're just a monk, you're asking me for stuff, I'm not giving you stuff, go away. So that monk moved on, and that monk, he didn't hold any grudge or complaint that he didn't get help from that person. He actually, many years later, this house owner went to visit a very big temple, and in that big temple, he actually saw his name with a lamp lit on it. And he asked, why is my name on there? So one of the other younger monks said, oh, because our head monk, our leading monk, many years ago he traveled to a place and someone gave him not so pleasant time, but he knew it is his fault. Not it is the monk knew it was the monk's own karmic burdens from the past. Nothing to do with this rich person or the local persons. Nothing to do with their Buddha self. Nothing to do with their conscious self. So that's why he go back to the temple and become more diligent in cultivating, and then praying for this person every day, chanting the Buddha's name and directing all these merit to that person. And that's why this elites of the village even got more richer, more famous, more prosperous without even knowing why. And then that day he's come to the temple and hear the whole picture. He fell to his knees and he is so regrettable of not respecting everyone peacefully, equally, with most respect. Then that person also become a cultivator. So in the end, it's win-win. A person treating other person badly does not end in that both having grudges and having a tough time. At the end, both still have the good outcome. So I think that is a very powerful lesson for the modern times, that if others treat us really, really badly, we don't need to drag that burden on our shoulders. We should be able to make more good things and reflect the good back to them, and then the whole situation will be a lot better. So I think, I hope, Nicolette, if that answers some of the questions. And yes, and okay. Hello. Yeah. So I think that's why a lot of the conflicts or a lot of the issues we can definitely solve. There's nothing that we can't solve. Only our decision is what stops us from solving things. So I hope, we can all, get to have more pleasant interactions with everyone and have more and more happiness surrounding us. And that's the beauty of the Tao. That is the most important of the three treasures. So I hope, it is questions as well. We got any questions?
So what's the most important of the three treasures?
The three is back to one. Yeah. Think of the three as one. Yeah.
Good.
Yes. So, if you look at someone, you can try to look at them as if they're the Buddha, or look at them at the heavenly portal and look at that beautiful connection inside. Not need to look at the shapes and size or appearance. It's that inner beauty.
Will Smith was right.
When in Men in Black or in Aladdin.
We'll talk about this after.
Okay. So thank you very much for the class time as well. Hope you enjoyed that discussion as well. And then thank you for watching as well. If any questions, feel free to shoot them across, and we'll try to address them and answer them. I'll stop the recording too. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much, Nicolette. Thank you so much. I'll see you shortly. Bye.